Hi, my name is David Gerry, and I'm the co-founder here at testqube. What if I told you you could get your reading and writing score for the digital SAT up by 300 points in just 3 weeks? Let's go over 3 tips. The first tip, learning vocabulary. But what if I told you that you didn't need to understand nearly the amount of SAT vocabulary that you were originally responsible for in paper SAT? All you need to really focus on is verb types. What I mean by this, if you just understand synonyms for basic relationship verbs, such as agree, disagree, prove, disprove, intensify, weaken, create, destroy, introduce, and take back, not only are you receiving help for word and context questions, but really every other question type, purpose, dual passages, graph questions, etc. Down below, you'll find our link to our verb vocabulary word bank that we at testqube produced. Next, what we want to do is we want to focus on roots, prefixes, and suffixes. Why? Because just by understanding roots, prefixes, and suffixes, anytime you have a word that you don't necessarily understand, if you just know any common root, prefix, or suffix, you'll be able to infer the meaning of the word almost 90% of the time. Tip 2, cut the BS. Trying to understand every line, every detail of every passage is good for comprehension, sure, but time-wise, you could be cut short. Focus on the big picture, paying attention to 2 things. 1, for a passage, who and what we were talking about, the subjects and objects of each line. And 2, any tone words. What are the positive and negative attitudes, words in each line? If you focus on these 2 elements, whenever we get that unexpectedly difficult poem or dense dual passage, we can dumb it down to the basics. Let me show you an example. So I'm looking at one of our tests, test 2 specifically, module 2 number 8. With this kind of question, we're looking at a fiction passage. And upon first glance, it can seem very, very intimidating because there's a lot of complicated language and quotes and just a lot of noise in general. But if we dumb it down and just focus on, first, as I said before, who and what we were talking about. So what we see here is we have our community as one subject, others, and then finally, Coverdale. And so the question is asking, based on the text, how does Coverdale respond to the gathering's enthusiasm? So let's also label the tone words here, and we see that we're talking about paradise, enthusiasm, equality, prosperity. So the community is giving some sort of positive energy, but Coverdale, we have this transition word however, says he remains detached and skeptical. Then it says silently and reality. So he's questioning reality, he's silent, and he's detached and skeptical. So when we look at A, B, C, and D, we see that D is almost the same language. He remains silent, fearing the repercussions of challenging the gathering's ideals. D. But if we dumb it down, it becomes that easy. Finally, tip 3, get to the claim. Focus on the hypothesis, argument, or theory. Synthesis questions, it can be actually in the question itself. Many digital SAT reading and writing questions ask about a specific claim or hypothesis, from command of evidence, textual questions, to graph questions, to logically complete questions. Hone in on the specific line in which the hypothesis or claim comes out, and you'll be able to save significant time answering questions. Sometimes that's all the information you have to read. In the case of synthesis questions, where we have that long list of bullets, you don't even have to read the bullets most of the time. You can just go directly to the question where you see the claim and match which answer matches that claim. So let's look at one example. So when we see this is section 1, module 1 of test 1. So we have this long list of bullets, but I'm just going to tell you we don't have to read it about that. Let's go directly to the question, and you'll see that they're asking about the geographical extent of the Roman Empire. So that's all we need to find in the answers. So we haven't even read the bullets, but we just look for something along the lines of geographical extent. We see that A is talking about the political system, so we can delete it. We see that B spans much of Europe, North America, and Middle East at its peak. Oh, this sounds geographical, so therefore we can pick it. We didn't even read the synthesis bullets, and we were able to answer the question directly. Tips like these can save you a lot of time on the test, and I guarantee that with just practicing them for 3 weeks, you'll see your score fly. So as I said before, there's a link below to our vocab list of verbs, as well as the link to our website, where upon clicking, you can see that you can download our platform and take our free trial test. I guarantee you, with a little bit of help from us, you'll get to the score you need. Thank you.